My first memory of Tehran is one of surprise. My surprise was the beautiful snow-covered Arboz Mountains to the north of the city. And then there was the stunning Azadi Tower at the western entrance to the city. It's sometimes called the Freedom Tower. It was opened in 1971 to mark the 2500th anniversary of the founding of the Persian Empire. Of course, you can't think about Tehran without thinking about traffic. I read that the streets were designed for around 300,000 cars, but in reality, the total number of cars on the road is over 5 million, hence the congestion. And there are over 200,000 taxis available, with the yellow ones being hybrid, and they help reduce the city's atmospheric pollution. There's a variety of retail stores available, with some such as jewellery being grouped together in clusters. Of course, there are more than just jewellery retailers. And just off the main street is this traditional hole-in-the-wall bakery. And the bread is not only flat, but fresh. And you can fold it up, put it under your arm and walk away. One memory is of pleasant parks scattered throughout the city. Parks and other green spaces make up 20% of the city's total area, and they provide quiet and peaceful areas and shade in the summer heat. At the end of this attractive avenue lies the stately mansion now housing Iran's Film Museum. Iran's film industry goes back over a century, and some of the early productions can be seen screening in a reproduction of an early cinema. The museum also displays a collection of professional and amateur movie-making equipment. Iranian films, actors, directors have won many international awards, and some of these awards are on display in the museum. And I was able to purchase DVD copies at the museum shop. Tehran's main street, Malasai Avenue, runs for almost 19 kilometres north to south. There is a great variety of interesting street art spread out along the avenue's length. I thought these leg warmers on trunks of trees showed a great deal of imagination. And there was more artistic imagination shown in these oversized garments hanging in the street. Throughout Iran, I was impressed by the Islamic mosaics found on mosques and other religious buildings. Of course, being Iran, there was various sorts of propaganda displayed boldly around the city. And here the artist is producing the heroic story of an ancient Iranian hero. While Iran is obviously an Islamic country, there is also a long tradition of Christian presence. And here in the centre of Tehran is a modern cathedral for the Armenian Apostolic Church. Armenian Christians have been present in Iran for many centuries. Named in honour of Saint Sarkis the warrior, this cathedral opened in 1970. It's the largest church in Tehran, and it's made of white marble on concrete. On both sides of the main entrance are twin belfries. The National Museum of Iran is sometimes described as being modest, but it is full of interesting displays from the rich Persian history. It seems that each tour guide begins with this large map pointing out the geography of Iran and the points of historical significance. There are exhibits dating back thousands of years and illustrating the rich history of Persia. The Cyrus cylinder was written in 539 BC when the Persians conquered Babylon. It praises King Cyrus, who freed slaves, declared all people had the right to choose what religion they wanted to follow, and established racial equality. This magnificent frieze depicts tributes being presented to King Darius, and it comes from the Apadana Palace in Persepolis. When visiting the ruins of Persepolis, it's still easy to see where in the wall this stonework frieze was taken from. There are displays of ancient ceramics and pottery dating back thousands of years. While this is only a painting, it is possible to see remains of the ancient ziggurats in different areas of Iran. We move from the National Museum to the nearby Glass and Ceramics Museum.
Sometime as a Minister of War, sometime as a Prime Minister.
This impressive building was once a private home of a wealthy Iranian family, but later it housed the Egyptian embassy and then became a museum in 1976. Located in northern Tehran is the Saadabad Museum Complex. Here, 18 museums are spread out over 104 hectares of mountainside parkland. Of course, some of the museums are rather specialised, but if you want to see the collection of royal dishware, royal automobiles, miniature paintings, the gun museum, then this is the place to come. Built just before World War II, the White Palace was the summer home of the Pahlavi dynasty. The palace contains 54 rooms spread over 5,000 square metres of floor space. It was the home of the last Shah of Persia until the revolution in 1979. Today, visitors look through glass security screens at what was once the height of quality luxury. We see extravagant furniture, huge made-to-measure carpets, a tiger pelt, and paintings. One handmade carpet is 143 square metres. Back to Valisar Avenue, where the cool mountain streams are channeled down the edge of the road. Located in the inner city is the City Theatre Hall. It is set beside a large city park which contains water features, children's playgrounds, and lovely shaded pathways and seating. I'm filming in the late afternoon, when large numbers of people and families have come out to enjoy the coolness of the park setting. There was space for various games such as this variation on perhaps Skittles. And there were plenty of tables for chess players. But what did surprise me was the interest in playing dominoes, and it was obviously an adult male interest. With a population of over 15 million in Greater Tehran, parks like this are a great asset. Tehran is not only Iran's greatest city, but it is also the largest city in Western Asia. And it ranks as the third largest city behind Cairo and Istanbul in the Middle East. Well, dominoes did seem to be a very enjoyable activity for this group in the late afternoon coolness. So my Tehran memories are traffic, history, artwork in the street, crowds of people, but always smiling, friendly folk. And it's certainly a city that I would happily visit again.